Chapter 9.99 The Time Game. "Right," said Angel. "Are you all okay?" I felt completely dazed, but nodded along with everyone else. "What day is it?" asked Minnow. "Very close to New Year's Eve," said Angel. "I can feel it in my bones." Minnow smiled. "Good," she said. "That's the eve of Miguel's birthday too." "It is," said Angel. "But for now, I have to check on Orpheus at the time game. You're welcome to stay here and get some rest, or you can come with me. Your choice." "I don't know about everyone else," I said, "but I'm coming." "Us too?" asked Goad, looking hopeful. Angel leant down and tousled her hair. "Of course," she said, "if you want to." "If we want to," shouted Godot. "We'd love to." Angel found a large conch shell in the sand near the cottonwood tree. When she blew into it, a loud sound echoed up and down the beach. In no time at all, Angel's time ship had appeared. The four little fairies leapt onto the ship and up into the rigging, clearly ecstatic about being upsized and invited on a trip. The applause from the cottonwood tree increased to a boom as our ship grew wings, lifted off the ground, and sailed away towards the time game. "Tell us about Invictus," said Minnow, leaning on Miguel's wheelchair. "Not yet," said Jax firmly. "I want all of us to be in the safety of the observatory, and preferably on my enchanted chairs, when we hear that story." Minnow pulled a face, but then grinned at Jax. "Okay," she said, "but only because you're the best ice witch I've ever met." "I'm the only ice witch you've ever met," added Jax. "No, we met your mum," said Sky. "And your dad," added Frank. Jax laughed. "All right. Well, thank you for the compliment." Minnow put her arm around Jax's waist. "What's happening at the time game?" she asked. "You'll see," said Jax, looking a little mysterious. Chapter 9.999 Stella to the Rescue. When we reached the time game, Orpheus was busy. "You're here," he said, his face shining. "Good. I need someone to go back in time immediately and rescue Asmax, Escher and Arthur." Jax looked anxious. "I thought it was all in hand." "It will be," said Orpheus with a sigh, "as soon as Stella sorts it out." There was a loud crash as a cloud of time fairies tumbled into the large cave we were in, and then, striding through them, came Solo and Stella. "At your service," she said.
"At your service,"
screeched Jeremiah, sitting first on Stella's shoulder and then swooping up to perch on her hat. Escher gave Stella and Solo high fives. Stella then flew up above us and hovered in mid-air in a Peter Pan stance with her legs wide apart and her hands on her hips. "What's up?" she asked. "You, apparently," said Miguel. Stella looked down with a grin. "And hopefully you will be up in a few more days. When's the 1111th party? Am I invited?" "Of course," said Miguel. "You don't turn 1111 very often, so I'm inviting everyone." "Good," said Stella. "Now, what are the coordinates? I can't wait to frustrate Thievel's plans for Asmax, Escher and Arthur." "I thought you'd already rescued Mum," said Jax. "I had," said Stella, "but Thievel captured her again. This time he claimed that she'd broken the code of something or other. Da Vinci, I think. He makes things up as he goes." Stella was always so confident. I couldn't believe that she was my little sister, all grown up. I wondered what I would turn out to be. Hopefully a match for her. Jax hugged Stella. "Thank you," she said. "Will your ship be safe on the journey?" "Safe?" asked Stella. "She'll be rambunctious and wild." From outside the cavern we could hear Stella's ship straining at its ropes. I felt it could go and rescue Asmax, Escher and Arthur without Stella, but then again I knew that Stella would never recover if her precious ship was harmed, so better by far if she stayed with it. Angel and Orpheus showed Stella a holographic map, which was a mixture of constellations, massive time charts, and a huge array of equations. As they stared at the map, it burst into song. Well, there were no words, but it was as if the map had become a channel for the most incredible orchestra I'd ever heard. As the sound increased, we were all lulled into a strange, trance-like state. After the music finished, Stella gave each of us a fist bump and left with Solo to fulfill her rescue mission. Chapter 9.9999 The Corrections. Right, said Blizzard. The rest of us have to go into the Noesis to figure out what sort of corrections need to be made in the time game. How will we know? Asked Frank. It's not clear yet, said Jax, but a time wizard was kidnapped and taken backwards through time and space, so we need to ensure that things are put right in the game. Blizzard smiled at me. Ben, I think you'll be taking the lead, he said. Me? I asked, feeling worried. Why? Well, you did very well before we went on our rescue mission, said Miguel, and you've been a little overshadowed by Sky, added Angel. It's time for you to come out from the shadows. I breathed in sharply, definitely feeling worried this time. What if I failed? Could I really lead another search? Last time there was a sense of urgency. This time I just wanted someone else to do it. Can't someone else? I asked. Simply put, said Miguel, not this time. I nodded at Miguel and hoped he couldn't see my terror. Don't worry, said Blizzard, patting me on the back. The Noesis loves all of us. It won't betray you. What about the lies in there? I whispered. What if they lead me astray? What if, said Blizzard. You saw me back in the day. Did I look like I could do anything? Not really, I said, feeling bad to say it. Not really, repeated Blizzard. I was a complete wreck. No, you weren't, said Frank. You were excellent. Blizzard laughed. You're being kind, he said. But I'm trying to encourage you. You must know by now that you can achieve anything. I grinned. Okay, I said. Where's our starting point? Here, said Jax, out on the Time Games landing platform. Before we knew it, our boards had appeared and we were zooming into the best Noesis. It was fluffy and thick like ice cream. To make things even better, it smelled like chocolate and vanilla. Can we get some of this next time we have Noesis ice cream? Shouted Minnow. I think it can be arranged, yelled Miguel, his wheelchair shooting out orange flames as he sped up to hover near her. Thank you, yelled Minnow, her long plait streaming out behind her as she surfed down some steep clouds of Noesis. Miguel headed over to fly next to me. What are you seeing? He asked. Nothing so far, I said, except I can smell chocolate. Can you? Keep going, said Miguel. You're doing well. Hey, there's a boy now, I said. See? Over there. He's playing conkers. Conkers? Asked Sky, surfing over. What's that? It's a game, shouted Minnow. You hold a chestnut on a string or a pebble, and then you hit it against your opponent's conker. Eventually one gets broken from its string. If yours is still in one piece, you win. Jax grinned. We play it with shards of ice, she said, and it's called Blizzard. Blizzard? Shouted Minnow. Perfect. And way better than conkers. Much better, I said. Can any of you see the game I can see? Over there. The tall kid with the brown hair keeps winning. I can see him, said Minnow. He doesn't seem very happy about winning. He looks sulky, I said. What's your feeling? Asked Miguel. Is it important or should we keep going? I don't know, I said. Minnow zoomed across to me. I had a dream about some kids playing conkers, she said. It was weird. When? I asked. A while ago, said Minnow, frowning, trying to remember. Without warning, huge volcanoes appeared below us. They started spewing thick lava high into the air. We sped upwards and away from the volcanoes, but the heat began to drag us back down. I felt terrified that we'd all die if we didn't get right away. I yelled to everyone, "Follow me!" As I raced to one side as fast as I could, I felt the heat being left behind, and I started to relax. Blizzard shot up beside me and shouted, "Well done! That was so well done!" Everyone caught up with us and started saying how brave I'd been. I didn't see that I really had, but it felt nice to be thanked. Suddenly, all around us were snowflakes, as far as we could see. But when we looked more closely, we realised they were time fairies, and then Stella's ship was underneath us, and Stella was shouting, "All aboard!"